I've noticed now, recently, in the past couple of years now, you've made 2 movies. One with Doris Day and one with James Cagney.
That's right.
How come Hollywood never got to you before that?
Well, there are many reasons. The first is perfectly plain because you're looking at me. I was never one of those beautiful young starlets. And besides, I went out to Hollywood when I was 16 years old to visit a friend after I finished high school. And my mother and I went out there, and it was at the time when people were wearing adjustable braces. I don't know if you ever know, the kind you could take out all the time. And I had a separation in my teeth about a tooth wide. Now, it was marvelous when I was a kid because I could always spit water farther than any other kid on the planet.
It means you're going to travel, too.
It does?
Yeah.
Well, I traveled to Hollywood. But in any event, as I grew older and I began to notice boys, and they began to notice me, and I wanted dreadfully to smile once in a while, and I was afraid because of that great opening to open my mouth. So I
but
went...
what a kiss that would be.
Yeah, but you might lose a fellow that way.
Yeah. A lot of suction, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's
That's
nice.
all right.
You got a little separation. I just noticed. Anyway, I wore this Jackson adjustable brace. Now, my teeth moved together quite fast, but I would take it out, and if you leave it out for any length of time, you can feel the teeth in your head moving back again to where they were, which is very dangerous because then you get nothing but loose teeth. So the idea is to keep it in just as much as you can stand it, Well, somebody had arranged, this is when I was a kid, for me to meet the late David O. Selznick. Now, I thought, of course, I was 16 years old, the movie career would be a marvelous thing. I didn't realize at that time, as many young people do not realize, that it takes more than just thinking you're a young girl and full of ambition. So I made an appointment to see Mr. Selznick through someone who knew him quite well. And I got to the door of the office with my adjustable brace in, because I thought, I've got to keep my teeth together for the interview. I didn't realize in movies they always say cross your fingers and cross your everything up, but this time I had to keep my teeth together.
Yeah.
And so not till I got just to the door of his office did I remove the brace, and I thought, well, my teeth will stay together for an hour anyway. Well, I went in, and of course the secretary asked me my name, and I told her, and she said, well, you'll have to wait. Well, I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and a half hour went by, and I felt them beginning to move. And for a young girl, it was a sad, terrible experience. And finally, I went up to her, and I said, you don't understand, I have to see Mr. Selznick right now. Well, she probably thought something was going on with me and Mr. Selznick. I don't know, But she could tell by the desperate quality of my voice that I had to see him about something obviously very, very important. Well, by the time we got in, my teeth had only moved a little bit apart. And I met the great Mr. Selznick, and he said, you would like to be in pictures, I understand, from Mr. So-and-so who suggested you're coming to see me. And he said, well, perhaps you might do that. And then he looked at me very carefully, and I kept thinking he's going to say something about my teeth. And he said, I think perhaps if you had a nose operation. I had the brace on the wrong thing.